Kids are being taken one by one. Families broken apart. The world keeps moving on. Nobody here to fight. Where are the warriors? Where are the dads? Where are the mothers? This is so sad. I know a place where warriors are made. It's a podcast of true family fighters. You need to listen tonight. Tiff and the Punisher coming for CPS. Tiff and the Punisher, be our next guest. CPs took your children, chased your husband away, left you alone and vulnerable. Let me hear you say, Tiff and the Punisher coming for CPS. Tiff and the Punisher, be our next guest. Do not be afraid, wipe your tears away. We need to come together, it's our time. So need to tell your friends, watch the show. If CPS comes, this is where you go. They won't win this war against us. This is our crew, we have your trust. Advocates unlock the others. They care for us, they hold us up high. They make us feel important. Others pass us by. Tiff and the Punisher, Tiff and the Punisher, coming for CP. Tiff and the Punisher, Tiff and the Punisher, be our next guest.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?
Tiff and the Punisher, they won't back down. Fight for the children in every town. They are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We've done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids, pictures held up like thin tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are on Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff, the Punisher warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there.
I guess we're live. They cut my song off, but anyway.
What the hell is going on here?
Darren, you said it before we started. They were already messing with us.
I don't get it. Like, how do they do this? Like, seriously, you go all day long with everything working absolutely goddamn perfect. And this. Well, guess what? They're not going to beat our asses. That's for damn sure. Because here we are, you sons of bitches.
What does your hat say? Can you make our pictures bigger? I can't hardly see.
Oh, my God. Tiff, am I going to have to find another co-host? You getting old already?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
My Lord. Hold on a minute now. Guys, thanks for sticking around. We have a guest. We had a guest. We were supposed to have Dana. I mean, what the hell is going on here? There we go. Oh, all right.
You're a hologram.
Oh, you don't hear the music.
Stop.
There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. What's up, Tiff?
Not much. Baby knocked over the Christmas tree, broke a couple of my ornaments. I'm so over this shit right now.
Well, most people don't even have a chance to have their Christmas tree up yet, Tiff.
Yeah, well, I understand that.
Tiff, that's a lot of you problems, not me. I don't have a Christmas tree.
That is a Tiffany problem, isn't it?
Sure is.
One more time and I'm taking it down.
I bet it was funny though. I bet him running around looking like a little Christmas tree was funny.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Tiff, what's going on in West Virginia?
Well, there's a lot going on in West Virginia. They're in big trouble. I'm glad that the federal government is looking into them. But not only are they looking into West Virginia, I was told they're looking into Virginia too.
Are they really?
Yes.
Well, Virginia rates what? Like the worst in the country for
51st.
reunification, right?
Yes.
So that's absolutely bullshit. 50 so that means that not only are they the worst in the country, they're worse than what, Guam or Puerto Rico?
We're worse
There's
than
a
the nation, the whole world,
Right,
actually.
but you get it, right? Like, so to be 51st, you got to be worse than like someone, because we only have 50 states in our nation. So you
Well,
have to be
Puerto
worse
Rico, we're
so you're
51 with Puerto Rico.
You're worse than reunification than Puerto Rico is. That's crazy. Absolutely
And
crazy.
not only that, if we're not at the bottom, we're in the top 5 always.
Hey,
But right
you're not
now we're
first,
back
you're
at the
last.
bottom.
If you're not first, you're last. So we're trying to work on getting Michael in here. Jen, I don't know. We had to finally push it. He wasn't able to connect. We don't know what was happening with him there. And we finally had to get in here. So, Michael, if you're here, man, try to jump in. Get in this game with us, buddy. We're here. We want to hear your story. But we had to get going here. Yeah, they do. The feds do need to. You're absolutely right, Jen. The feds need to look into all these states. But here's the problem. The feds are just as guilty in all of this. You know, if state... So I learned something today that all states... So it doesn't quite work like how we say we think it works and everything else, right? So, and when we made an agreement back in the 1700s or whatever, when we weren't here that time, we made this agreement with whomever the powers that be are, that to be a state, we have to align by these federal rules, right? So we have to be in line with that, because the federal government trumps states' government always. It's the law of the land, you know? So that being said, why, again, are these judges so easily saying no to our Constitution?
Look, the one thing that they cannot get around is, I believe it's Article 6, Paragraph 3. They cannot get around what the Constitution says. All judges, highest to the lowest, have to take an oath to uphold the United States Constitution. They can't get around it.
Oh, there we go. We have movement. We can see
Yeah.
you, brother. You can't hear us?
You can't hear. Is his mic on?
Well, I don't know.
Is he on a
can't
phone?
hear. It looks like he's on something that's... Gunner's here with us. Let's get Gunner out here.
Yeah,
Gunner,
let's get Gunner.
can you
Thanks,
assist us?
Gunner.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, we're trying to get... So Michael's from your neck of the woods here. We're trying to get him in here. He's having some issues. I don't know if maybe we can talk him through. Maybe in the private messages, maybe, or something. Michael, can you hear us yet, buddy? Michael, can you hear us, bud?
No.
Can you hear?
Negative.
No. Okay.
Maybe we need to get him.
Go to your settings on your computer, and you're going to have to list that it goes through the earphones, and sometimes those earphone things,
he can't hear you, Gunner,
because it will go in the jack.
Can you hear us?
No,
he can't hear.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
Let me do
Private
this.
chat.
Uh,
Oh, they're
Hold on.
knocking each
Hold, no,
other.
no, no. Hold on. Check the private settings.
Am I really watching this? Hey, I'm gonna put on I'm gonna put on my commercial today while we're working through this, guys. I'm gonna put on the video that I made today.
Yeah,
So
go
you guys
ahead.
can all check this out. Oh, thank you, Tiffany.
No problem.
Thank you. Anytime, Darren. Because you guys really got to hear this dude's story, man. This story is freaking unbelievable. Um, let me drop this here. We're gonna do this here. Pull up the YouTube here while these guys are finishing. Sorry about the technical problems, guys. This is something, but it's worth the wait. When you guys hear what this dude's got going on in his life, you guys are gonna be just beside yourselves. You're not gonna believe what is going on. That's what you're going to be saying, because this is just absolutely. I can't even believe that this is what's going on in this country. But guys, I want you to check me out here real quick. I did this today. Maybe you guys saw it on TikTok. Maybe I hope someone saw it, because it's well, you'll see right here. Let me show you. Let me see here. Share. Okay, share. What's up, everybody? CPS Punisher. What if I were to tell you a child in the United States is taken into custody? And when I told you that there's a child a minute taken into custody, what if I told you that was by our own government kidnapping them from innocent families while they're slamming us? Families that don't have any sort of imminent. They are killing us. Dangerous situations. Families that didn't do anything. Wow. Don't beat your own computers, guys, because this is ours. This is what's going on with us. They got us here getting wrong. Families that didn't even commit a crime. Families that Jesus Christ didn't abuse their children. They just happened to be. And you know what? I don't even have an answer for why they happened to me, but they were. Over 4 million families last year were tossed and turned by CPS. Out of that 4 million families, 500,000 were found to be guilty. But do you know what the real facts are? The real facts are this: 2%, that 500,000, were truly found to have actual abuse and neglect involved with it. Yeah, people, this is the country we live in. They're kidnapping our children at a rapid speed, and no one seems to be picking up on this. Well, in order to help spread the word and what's really going on here, I've created a crypto coin, a moonshot. It's called FCKCPS. You can figure out what it says. I urge you to go to Moonshot, pick that up, purchase it, and show the world that we are here. This is what we're doing, and let's make something that matters. And we'll make a couple bucks off of it ourselves too, because these parents that have dumped all this money into our system and into the lawyers and everything else that we have, we all deserve to have a couple bucks also. A couple bucks so we can put it back in, pay it forward. Maybe we can help someone pay their legal fees. Maybe we can do something along those lines. I don't know. I don't even understand how these crypto things work. But what I do know is that you need to go there and buy some of it so we can have something that shows.
Mexican kids ruining their future, making dads run scared through the fire. The courts destroying families. when you take his child. Consider yourself told. Let's burn the bitch down. They cause our pain. Let's burn the bitch down. We're not insane. Let's burn the bitch down. They have their chance. Let's burn the bitch down. We show our stand. We won't stand for this anymore.
Okay, where'd Michael go? Let me see. Did we lose him? I think we lost him.
I don't
Can
know
you hear
where.
me? I don't
I
know.
can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes with those earphones, guys, if you guys are live on stuff and you have those earpieces that has that push to talk feature, with those you have to watch a lot of those headphones, which is why you'll see myself, Tiff, or Punisher with certain types of earphones because there are issues that deal with those things.
Are you there, right, Michael? All right, so we did lose Michael, but we're gonna do this way. Michael, go ahead and talk. Let's make sure that we can hear you. You guys hear him there?
No.
All right, give us a sound check, Michael, one more time. How about that? Oh, maybe if I put him on speaker, that would do it. There we go. Try that.
Can y'all hear me now? I'm sorry for all this
Yeah.
trouble.
All right, we got you now, buddy. We do have you now, so that's good. I'm gonna grab my charger and let's get going on this. So the gunner, Michael is from your town. Hold on one second, Michael. I gotta set you down here. Michael is from your neck of the woods, brother. From Tennessee. You're from what county in Tennessee, Michael?
Wayne County, Tennessee.
Wayne County, Tennessee. And what happened here was, him and his wife had gone out and had a night out with each other, and they had come home, and of course, this age-old story where, they've had a great time and a little sundries, and well, so the brother-in-law, right? If I'm correct in saying that, right? The brother-in-law got a little upset and called the police.
She went to work, and on her way home, she stopped by a friend's house, and she drank like 2 drinks with him. And it's an older man, a really good friend of ours. And on her way home, she got on the National Stress Parkway, and she got pulled over, and they breathalyzer tested her. She passed the breathalyzer test, so continued on her way home. Well, when she got home, her and her brother got in an argument, and he told us to leave. Well, when we did leave, he called the police and said she was driving drunk with the kids in the car. So the city police pulled us over. The city of Collingwood police pulled us over. Shannon Adams.
Yeah, you're good. Keep going, brother.
He charged her with DUI. He charged me with DUI by consent, and charged us both with 4 counts of neglect because the 4 kids were in the car. I have grandma seizures, and I don't have a license. I have a heart condition called WPW. So I do not have a license. And as far as I was concerned, she was perfectly okay to drive. But they still arrested both of us and then used the fact that we were in jail and incarcerated to take the children into custody. Even though my mother said she'd come from West Virginia to come get them, and her sister, my wife's sister, said she would come from Louisiana to come get them. They just basically told them that they told my mom flat out that she couldn't come get them, that she lived out of state and that wasn't allowed, and told my wife's sister that it would be a 6 months process. By that time, mommy and daddy would be out of jail. I already have the kids back. Well, we're going on a year now.
A year. 1 year for a simple OUI that wasn't even an OUI. They made her tell them about getting out of jail with the plea.
Oh, when they put us in jail, we were talking back and forth because there's like 4 different drunk tanks, front holding cells, and they said that because me and her were talking back and forth about what happened, that she could either take a plea and get out that day, or they charged her with like discussing. I can't remember exactly the charge they said, but just like discussing the case.
Wow.
And she would be in there for 6 months.
So there's this called marital privilege, that you have every right to talk to your spouse regardless of what is going on. That charge is one, you'll have to escalate it probably to the federal court, because you are allowed to have conversations and they are technically not supposed to be listening in on them. If you're in close contact, the falsification of they did that on purpose, that's called entrapment. Number one. Number two, if you don't have a license, they can't charge you with something if you weren't operating anything. That goes on them to prove of one, that I consumed or I did or any of these other things, whatever it may be. But one, if I don't have a license to do this, you can't charge me with something I don't even have. If they want to go under that whole thing of licensing, I don't even have a license. I have a medical condition.
Right.
The other thing I would attack this under, especially with your case, is I would get with Henry that does the Equal in the Same podcast that does it every Saturday. That's very well informed and can give you a lot of education. But I would play the ADA card on this 100%, because you were disabled and you were not treated, or they never even investigated or anything else. But your brother calling in because of, hey, I think they're this or that, or drunk, or this or that, and blue below the limit, that means you're legally able to operate a vehicle. And once again, I would get that previous officer, go through this and this setting, go, I was once again, and once again, you're dealing with a lower court. You're going to have to escalate this because one, you were in 2 different counties. That is automatically going to get you into your state Supreme Court, because you're dealing with multiple counties, and it's not just one county, because your evidence comes from both, and the case actually builds out from both. So if you didn't have that, I would move jurisdiction, do a change of a venue and jurisdiction form to the Tennessee Supreme Court, and say, hey, there's multiple counties, multiple evidence, multiple things, that this is going on. But the other issue is, the officer that actually pulls you over has to have probable cause. Probable cause is, the definition, you have to go under Tennessee, what Tennessee's definition of probable cause. It has to do with firsthand experience and or knowledge, not a call-in. That is called hearsay. I can call in on 1,000 people 100 different times. Hey, this person says, well, great. That's a call to investigate. Mm-hmm. That officer has to pull up upon the scene and have firsthand knowledge, reasonable articulated suspicion to even proceed, to even pull you over, anything. What do you have that you witnessed with your own eyes that you can swear on an affidavit that I have done this and that? Does it exist? No. Then it doesn't meet the Tennessee code or statute. You'll rip them apart all day on their own codes and statutes.
And the other thing I want to add to what Gunner's saying is, absolutely, your family could have came from out of town to pick those kids up. They are absolutely allowed to come from any state to get those children at any time.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
Because you have not lost parental rights, and the state can't interfere with parental rights until it's adjudicated then, and they can't hold you back because you still have those. What it does is it pulls those kids out of their jurisdiction or their holding.
And they won't get the money.
They won't get the money. And that takes it away from a simple, we want this. Understanding right now because of everything that's going on with ICE and everything that's going on with the child trafficking rings being popped and this and that, it's a matter of business supply and demand. So for this the supply part, and this is the way you have to look at it. And I know it's kind of rough because it's people's lives, but they don't view it like this. They deal specifically with people. I see a product. How easily can I obtain that product? And whether I can make it up. I can tie you up in a bunch of bullshit that ain't even legal to go through. But what? My kids are still in the system. This is where you have to do that. You're going to have to do, and you're going to have to pull the police record or the thing that he filled out. Where was his probable cause? Where was his reasonable articulated suspicion? This, that. If not, then it's automatically thrown out of court. What was your thing? We got a call. No, 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 no. What did you observe in your first person thing according to code and statute? And it's just about the same for every state. That's called hearsay. You got a hearsay call. The call was a call to investigate. What did you notice? And it must be in your report. And you're going to go into the codes and the statutes, and you're going to say, what are the requirements to proceed forward, to move out, to pull you out of the car, any of those other things? Did they search the car? Did they have a warrant to search the car? No, you got to have probable cause. And once again, these are things that people do not take a turn around and say. And this is why it's so important with traffic stops. I don't answer questions. I don't answer questions. I'm sorry. I have the right to invoke the Fifth Amendment. Hey, I need this and that. You realize I can invoke the Fifth Amendment. I don't have to give you anything that would cause to further your investigation. That's a violation of my Fifth. This is where, no, you must cooperate or we're going to hit you with a local charge. The issue is they're figuring you're not going to be strong enough or figure it out enough to turn around and take it to the higher courts or even to the Supreme Court under 1983 and ask under constitutional question of going, is this constitutional what they were done? And they're going to turn around, then they're going to rule, no, it's not. And it's going to come with a price tag, and it's going to cost them. I says, but then you go after, you have to file, you have to articulate it as criminal charges, abuse of power under the color of law. You have to go through all these things, and you use all these things, but you don't file it locally. You go to your state attorney general's office. And if there's constitutional crimes that are involved, you now need to file under the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. for criminal action that are federal problems, such as constitutional rights violations. Then you want to go after them. Now, understanding in 1983, you have got to listen, and a lot of people make this mistake. It has to be about with what they performed or did within their official capacities. As far as their individual capacities, you're in the wrong court. We say this all the time, fight in the right court. That goes to the Court of Claims. Then you sue them personally. You go after their license. And here's the other thing a lot of people don't know. It's called the Brady List. When you realize somebody has taken and done this, you will make sure that this person never goes into a courtroom ever again, never has the power to do that. And when you're talking about a law enforcement officer, they can never serve as law enforcement if they're on a Brady list, ever. People can't practice law if you're on a Brady list, ever. You can't be a witness on that. Why? Because now your integrity is under complete question. If you were willing to do that, you're not to be trusted. But most people will settle out of court and sign this non-disclosure. Here's a fat paycheck. And once again, but you're not going to take and you're going to file charges, criminal charges against them, which you have every right to do because they figure, well, if I just go in the civil court and I sue them, that's one thing. No, you have to walk across the street and file the criminal charges, people. You guys are missing a huge thing. And when you deal with states, you deal with the state codes and the codes and statutes and use it against them as this is where they took and did it. Now, if you want to tie federal stuff in here, let me explain how to do this in state court. This is where y'all mess up. Go back to your state's constitution and quote it. If you don't put it on the record, you're not going to get it. Why? Because every state's constitution has a default clause in it that takes and acknowledges the supremacy clause of the Constitution itself. Well, wait a minute. Your own state constitution says, but you've got to put it on the record. Then when they fail to comply with that, Now they've committed a criminal act. That's when you start taking out judges and magistrates and this and that and holding them. Wait a minute. You violated your oath. Why? Because your oath was what? To defend the Constitution. Not only that, your own state's codes and statutes must be constitutional. And this is what a lot of people don't realize. Within our states, there are tons of stuff, codes and statutes, and even policies and procedures that are unconstitutional and not supposed to be there. But until we begin to challenge them, put them in the courthouses, and drain their money on this is we take away their funding, because you got to understand they operate like a business. If you make it to the point they're uninsurable, they can't operate. There are counties right now in many states, even in Tennessee, that are uninsurable, that are still arresting people, that are still putting people in jail, and they can't legally do it because they're not insured. But until the people of that county stand up, get educated, know what to do, and hold their elected and appointed officials accountable, because this is the misguidance we've got from public education and everything around us. We have been taught to be ignorant, and they are far superior. We answer to them. That is not this country. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. Bottom line. And it's we, the people, that have power, not our elected and appointed official actors and officials. It just doesn't happen. And they try to run it like this. Oh, no, our great democracy. There's no such thing. That is propaganda. That is a 100% lie. And you walk into a federal courtroom and spew that crap, they're going to laugh you right out of the courtroom. 100%. Well, we don't practice common law. Okay, you don't follow the Constitution? Did you know that the Constitution is common law? Get them on the record saying this shit. Like, literally, you've got their job.
I've been told is the fact that my judge for the juvenile court was also our judge for the criminal court. That was not supposed to. He was the judge for the juvenile and criminal court. So that's
conflict of interest
right there.
That should be recused
to my public pretender, but he just wouldn't go through with it. So we made
listen, your brother, your public defender. Tiffany's going to tell you the first thing. Screw them lawyers, every bit of them, because they're not out there 100% to do anything else than to perpetuate the system. They are not going to protect your rights. They are not going to file the appropriate paperwork. They are out there because who's paying them? There's the conflict of interest too, the state. They're not going to do anything to protect you. If you're under the assumption this system is going to protect you and your rights, do not make that mistake. Put things on your own. Learn to file everything. Put it on the record. Because here's the thing. Saying it in court is one thing. Putting it on the record to where even these local places, when it goes to the state, and I'm telling you this because, in Tennessee, I have a case that the locals, they'll even the DA, the sheriff's office, everybody's in on the shit. And they're corrupt as hell. Till you get and you hammer them in the state court of appeals of, now I found where you broke the law. You couldn't do this and that. And now there's a federal case. And once the state gets to the point of an appeal, the state that admits its representatives have broken the law with an appeal. That is huge. And that's one thing too of, hey, you may not win in the lower courts. Once again, you're fighting. That's why they call them kangaroo courts. But put as much as you can on the record. Understand, get in education, dig in a lot of these groups and everything else, brother. Learn how to draft motions, learn how to enter evidence, exhibit A, exhibit B, and do those schedules and put it on. Forget your lawyer. Do stuff as a pro se, anything else. Learn how to do pro se. Because if not, you're going to get rung through the system just like everybody else, and then they're going to cry injustice and nobody cares. And that's what it comes down to. You've got to learn to fight.
I went to my lawyer after making the complaint on him. He went to the GAL for the kids and had her file a motion against. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of Caden Contrell, the boy that they found in Mississippi.
Yeah,
that passed away from an overdose on fentanyl. She's the same GAL for him as my kids. So
Well,
to court,
it's supposed to be a case-by-case basis.
Supervised visitation, after saying in court that we were up to par with, we passed all of our drug screens, we completed the pregnancy plan, but she wasn't recommended moving on to unsupervised visitation. After hearing that in court, and I go home, I see her on a live stream newscast saying that she had no knowledge that this boy Caden Cantrell, a 17-year-old boy, was on a 2-week pass. They played it off like it was a 2-day pass, but it was, I know the family personally, it was a 2-week pass that he was on. And DCS don't have the authority to grant unsupervised visitations unless the GAL and the judge sign for it. Well, she was completely throwing DCS under the bus, saying they had no knowledge of it. And if she did have knowledge of it, she would have never allowed it to happen. But it was completely untrue. Now, the problem we're having right now is the last visit we had, they said I broke the rules. I went in an hour early and went to my kids are in an Omni foster home, which is a third-party adoption agency. And they're in two homes. I went in to confront the Omni supervisor about them violating my son's right to religion. That they've been in foster care a year. We have complained every visit that they need to be in church. Want to be in church.
Let's stop you right there, brother.
It's then on the caseworker to get them to church to provide transportation, or so I brought that up. Well, when the boys, mind you, I got there early to bring that up. When the boys finally got there, I asked the boys if they had been attending church on Zoom, because that's what Natalie, their supervisor, the supervisor's supervisor, said was they were attending church on Zoom. Well, when I asked him, he said no. And that's when their supervisor said, you're not allowed to ask them that. That's an adult matter. I said, Elizabeth, my 14-year-old daughter, I said, Elizabeth, do you like going to church? I said, are you a Christian? She said, yes, sir. I said, do you like going to church? She said, yes, sir. I asked my son, my 13-year-old son, Michael. I said, Michael, are you a Christian? He said, yes. I said, do you want to go to church? He said, yes. Well, we had a meeting earlier today about what happened at the visit. The rule I broke at the visit was, it was our son's birthday party. We were only able to bring him one present for his birthday party. So I had to explain to him that we had a consultation fee with a lawyer because we had a very important court case coming up. And they was like, whoa, you can't say that. I can't believe you said that. I'm like, what I say wrong, you know? And she was like, just try it after the visit. And I started to walk off and play with the kids, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, what did I do wrong? I need to know what I did wrong, so I won't do it again, you know. Please, and I asked them, I was like, well, one of y'all please step out of the visitation room to explain to me what I did wrong. And that's when the boys that supervised, the one that's under such scrutiny for violating the First Amendment right, slammed her hand down on the table and she said, no, get out. It's over. I'm done with this. Get out.
Well, one, I would take and document all this stuff, brother, that you're talking about. You've had these meetings. You need to document them on paper as affidavits of truth of what you've experienced in this stuff and get it on the court record. But one thing you're going to have to do on constitutional rights violations, you're in the wrong court. Your state court is not going to address constitutional rights violations and the fact that those were broke. You need to file in, once again, the right court. That needs to be that would be a 1983, and then it would be a court of claims. In other words, you start filing on these people, that's an automatic conflict of interest. They have to be removed, and you've got them on record of what you're doing and what was done and so on and so forth against the children's rights. Now, as far as talking about this or this or that. You can't talk about a case. For all they know, you could say you could be talking about some other case. Is this the only case that I'm dealing with? Once again, that's a freedom of speech. Your rights have not been terminated. So you have every right to talk to your children about anything you feel or about their religion or anything else like that. You got to go to the higher courts. The lower courts are going to trample over you, but you put those offenses in there and you can update them as you go. Hey, we had a meeting on this, this, and that, and that was said. If you can record those meetings, whether they like it or not, you have the legal right to record anybody firsthand in Tennessee. It's a one-party state. Hide a mic, get something off Amazon, something, record until you have enough that you just dump on them. And then you go, I'm entering this as evidence. Whoa, wait a minute. You're not, no, I have a legal right to it. You don't believe it? We'll go straight to the federal court. I'll file the appropriate paperwork and we'll go right into a federal court. Matter of fact, we're going to do that anyway. Why? Because we have ADA violations. Tell me, have you approached me with anything? Did the cop approach me with this and that? Has the court approached me with anything to do with my documented condition? That's through here and there. It's not for me to ask. It's for you to make readily available under the ADA law. Now, Henry, get with Henry. He'll tell you a lot of that stuff, but you got to file the appropriate paperwork. But yes, you can file to have a state case moved over if they won't give you the name of the compliance officer. Who's the designated employee in this courthouse that I'm supposed to take and get my evaluations from, and so on and so forth. Did that never happen? Congratulations. Now your case will end up probably getting thrown out due to the fact of ADA violations. Why? Because now it's a due process violation and you have to articulate that way. How can it be fair and equal for everybody in the courtroom if I'm not getting my ADA? Once again, the cop, we're going to attack, you attack the thing with the cop. Where's your first-hand experience? Start pulling those. And that's why I say you have so much power as a pro se, because you're going to put an attorney. He ain't going to go subpoena that stuff. He ain't going to go get this, and that. And I believe now, Tiff, doesn't a FOIA request qualify on a police report?
Absolutely.
See, there you go, folks. You need to do a FOIA request.
Basically put off all of our visits. They stopped our visits.
Okay, stop.
Hold up. Michael, hold on. Yeah, go ahead, Tiff.
Darren, ask him who stopped his visits, because I'm going to tell him how to remedy that shit.
Who stopped your visits, Michael?
The Omni supervisors were on the
Nope.
Wrong answer.
Only the court.
Only the court. Darren.
Public pretender was on the visitation.
Nope.
The meeting. Sorry.
Yeah, so the only person that can ever stop your visitations is the judge. That's it.
Darren.
So you need to notify the judge.
Tell him to file a motion to show cause on Child Protective Services why his visits, because now they're going to have to explain. And just because he was talking about hiring a lawyer doesn't give them enough probable cause, if you want to call it, to stop his visits. He needs to immediately tomorrow go file a motion to show cause.
Did you hear that, Bud?
That's what the GAL said. The GAL said that she stood up for us for the very first part, and she was like, for us to cut up, because everyone was saying, cut their visitation, but the GAL was like they had to show substantial risk, and that they didn't have that. But then towards the end of the meeting, when I kept calling them on their lies and basically proving their lies, it was like everything that I brought up wasn't addressed. Like it was
but bro, listen, address it. You can talk about it, but the court ain't gonna know about it until you file.
Our last visit with the one lady, Letitia, she allowed us to walk 300 yards away. Said that she trusted us. That she knew nothing was going to happen. But yet,
hearsay.
After the visit, they called the police at the very end and had the police escort us off before they would bring the kids out. But the
violation of court order right there. It's not court order.
They had the door propped wide open to the outside of the office. So if they were afraid of what I would do, then why would they prop the door open the entire time where I could just walk right in if I wanted to?
They cannot trespass you. They cannot ask you to leave or anything else unless you're committing a crime. Visiting your child or saying something. Once again, it's called freedom of speech. I can tell everybody to go get fuck Karen, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Well, it's inappropriate for the children. That's your fucking perspective.
Yep.
He needs to
So-
immediately file a motion to show cause and bring CPS back to court and explain to the judges why they're not getting their visits. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes,
This is about filing everything, brother.
Like the foster dad, the one that has not allowed the boys, he literally said that the boys and them have been going to church the last 4 Sundays in a row. I just talked to my son last week. He said they weren't even doing Zoom, you know? Like he said he didn't know what Natalie, the supervisor of Omni, was talking about Zoom, but they have access to a TV. He said they were actually going to church. I talked to my son. My son said no. He's 13 years old. He knows whether or not they're going to church.
How old is all his kids, Darren?
From what are they? 14 is your oldest, right down to 7 or something, right?
Elizabeth is 14. Mikey's 13. Gracie is 8 and Ray is 7. Or no, Gracie's 9 and Ray's 8. Sorry.
Well, the oldest one can participate in their own case plan. Did he say the GAL is on their side? Is that what he said?
They flip flops. It seems like.
Yes, she flip-flops.
She flip-flops?
She claims to be a Christian, even though, you know, some of the past
That don't mean nothing.
And when I found out that she was claiming to be a Christian, I reached out to her and asked her for her help to ensure that my boys would get to go to church. You know, this is a year now. This is a year that we've tried to address this, and they continue to do it. And so at first she sounded like she was on our side, but then she was the one to say, you know, yes, let's take mom's visits away too. Mom didn't do anything wrong. You know what they tried to say she did wrong? Not argue with me, not fight with me. She was on my side. She agreed with what I was saying. I was standing up for our family. So because she stood by me and didn't argue with me, if she would have argued with me in front of the kids, they would have said that was a problem.
Yep.
But because she didn't argue with me, and she agreed with what I was saying, they used that against her and took her visits as well. See,
I'd slap a 1983 right on every single one of them.
Are they married, Darren?
She was supposed to have a visit the 29th, a 4 more hour visit, and they were going to celebrate Thanksgiving together. And so by the end of the conversation, by the end of the meeting, they were just like, no, they terminated our visits until the 10th of December.
Michael, you guys married? Michael, you guys married?
Yes, sir.
Yes, they're married.
So there is a
They're
marriage
married for 15
act.
years.
Okay, their marriage is protected, and he needs to look up the marriage act because they are completely in violation of the marriage act. And that's federal, not just on top of the marriage act. Good God, do you see how many violations are going on right now? I would have already been in the fucking courthouse with a motion to show cause. Are you kidding me? And he does. He needs to appeal. Ask him if they've appealed any decision from the judges because they need to get out of there and then appeal these decisions.
Have you appealed anything, Michael?
We haven't had a hearing yet. We had our last court case was 5 months ago, and it was for a permanency plan review. Well, we all showed up. The kids was there. We were there. All the attorneys were there. And he ended up putting that off for 5 months till December.
Wait a minute. Did you sign anything? Ask him if he signed anything, Darren.
December the 3rd got transferred to December the 10th. So our right to have a hearing is being violated as well. We have a right to go before the judge, say, look, we've done all of your requests. We've completed the permanency plan. We've passed all the drug screens. The visits have been going well. Health Connect is doing half of the visits.
Have you guys?
And the Health Connect worker wasn't even allowed on the visit. And she would have
Of course
stood
not.
up and said, no, they've done nothing but good at these visits. You know,
Okay, Darren.
this does
Yes,
not sound
ma'am.
right.
Darren.
You know, she would have
He-
stood up for us, and because of that, they didn't invite her in the meeting.
Okay, so this. He needs to find out when he's got a court date. I think he said December 10th.
Next court date is December 10th, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so they only have 10 days. They need to subpoena everybody, and it has to be done by December. By December 1st.
First, right? Yep.
And get all
And
that
if they
other stuff
don't
on the
let them
record, those
in-
affidavits of truth, everything
if
else,
they-
everything he's experienced with CPS, this and that. Not just talk about, don't assume that they're going to take and say, yes, I did this, this, that. He needs to get that on there. And when they don't contest it, it becomes a fact in the court.
He also needs to understand that even though they subpoena them, they might not let them in. And that's also a good thing, because now they've violated their due process rights and the right to defend themselves. That's a federal.
Yep.
That's federal. They can
Yep.
automatically leave that courthouse and go straight to the federal court.
Yep. Go ahead.
Amber, the Health Connect supervisor, the one that supervises half of our visits, she said for us to subpoena her, that she would come in and only speak the truth. You know, like she
Everybody.
said, not only subpoena her, but subpoena her records as well, so she could bring her records.
Everybody under oath, everybody under this and that. That's when they take and they lie on that stand. That's a criminal act. That's a felony act, and that's federal prison time.
Everybody and everything. I mean, you subpoena everybody. And listen,
even the dog catcher.
Don't let it doesn't matter. And if they don't let them in, you smile as you're walking out of that courthouse, because you now have a federal case, because it's a due process violation automatically if they don't let your people come in.
My pastor says he wants to be there as either support or a, what is it where he talks about my character?
Yeah, character witness.
Character
witness.
Everybody, Darren. Tell him everybody.
Bring the kitchen sink, Michael. Bring the kitchen sink.
Make it your witness list and everything else. Make it to where you're going to be in court for a month, 2 months.
Yeah.
That drains all their bond money and everything else. Of no, we're going to have all these people. And as soon as the judge says, no, you can't have this many people or this, that, congratulations. You just committed a felony and abuse of power. Why? Because that's due process. I can call 200. I'd make that list 300, 400, 500 people long. Do you know how much that's going to take and cost them to take and do that? Call everybody from the church, even from this, and that. Make it so unbearable that they go, wait a minute, look at his witness list. Because why? They want to make it cheap, easy, and simple. Why? Let me just call you and them and this, that. Your character references, 500 of them. No, Your Honor, we're going to hear from every single witness, and they're going to get the opportunity to cross-examine. Do you realize the cost it is of 500? That's right, Your Honor. Clear your calendar for the next 2-3 months. Now you're playing a game that they don't want to play, because you have every right to do that. There is more than one way to beat them. More than one.
So
now there's no profit.
Mistake at our last visit. The only thing they were using against me for the last 6 months, we've had our permanency plan completed. We checked them off immediately. We did everything they've asked, and the only thing that they're holding against me is I have an assault in the second charge pending from 3 years ago in Alabama.
That doesn't matter, man. Your kids weren't present for that.
So what?
Right. DCS did show up that day and said that there was no wrongdoing. I was incarcerated, but they talked to my wife. And the whole thing that gets to me is I did my research on this, and I am not innocent until proven guilty in their eyes. But at the same time, I have a stand your ground hearing coming up. So my stand your ground hearing is the 9th. I can get those charges dropped the 9th and then come back the 10th and, be in good standing with the court. But up until now, that's what they've been using. And I didn't even have to tell the DCS worker about it. I just was trying to be completely open and honest. It was a day that we were scheduled to nail that drug screen, and I had court that day. So I was
nail that drug screen.
She's like, what do you have
Exercise
for?
that Fifth Amendment. They cannot compel you to do anything that they would use against you.
You know, but I mean, I done told them time and time again, I'm the type of like that man was twice my size, but I'm the type of person to where if a
Yeah,
man,
just
like my dad
just plead the
was my
fifth,
mom,
man. Just plead the
for
fifth.
6 years of my life. If a man puts his hands on a woman, I'm gonna defend her.
Damn right you will.
I mean, regardless of who it is, you know.
You're damn right you will.
So Darren,
Yes,
tell him
ma'am.
even if he gets a paid attorney, he needs to submit all that paperwork that they've completed himself. He needs to file this motion to show cause himself, and he needs to get those
Exhibits.
subpoenas out.
You have 10 days to do that, brother, because you got to make it by the 10 days prior to the court hearing.
So he might have to do it. Oh shit, he's gonna run out of time. He might have to start doing that tomorrow because I don't know if the courts are open on next Friday. He's got to do it by
Either way, it's
Monday
still
or
the calendar
Tuesday.
days, so he's still got that regardless of the holidays and everything else. He's still got the calendar days. So,
will you send that to me in a message, a motion of what? Because I'm dyslexic. I have a pen here, but
I'll be in touch with you. I'll get in touch with you, brother. We can assist you, I think, a little bit on this.
Yeah, and he needs to get
For
with Gunner
educational
because
purposes
Gunner,
and entertainment only. For entertainment purposes only.
Because Gunner is in Tennessee, and y'all need to get with
Tennessee CPS is getting ready to be abolished in Tennessee.
Well,
I will tell you there's enough, including over a decade of constitutional crimes and defrauding the federal government, and the evidence is already on there. My whole town here in Blount County is already folding up and scared as hell of what's getting ready to come down.
And he needs to get with Henry too.
Yeah,
for the ADA.
That's what I had said to him earlier when we were on the phone. They gave him no ADA accommodations. They need to make sure that they put that.
That's a shoe in. Yeah, that's coming to find out. That's a shoe in right into a federal court right away. Is no compliance and do almost a whistleblower type thing of saying my county does not have this nor provided, and they are receiving federal funds for this, which means they are defrauding the federal government.
Louis says send him the docs and he'll notarize it for you for nothing too if you need him notarized.
And my buddy up there in Canada.
Thanks, Louis. That's really cool of you, man.
That in the comments earlier, he had asked up there, John, as far as the Crown lawyer up in Canada and everything else, coercion, this and that, you'll have to look at your laws, but I believe it's pretty much the same. It must be filed or done of their own free will, not by coercion or intimidation. If you have evidence of that, John, you need to put that on the record. She's not doing it of her own free will or of her own recognizance. Then yes, that's called intimidation and coercion. And what they're doing is that has to be done when you're pressing charges, filing something, this and that. You even have to swear in with some of those things that nobody has intimidated, coerced, or done anything to you when you're here under that oath. That is so important that you need to come around. And if you've got that evidence, coercion, did you do this of your own record? Even catching her on the phone. And if you're able to record those things in that particular area, once again, default back to your own area for those things. Record it. Oh, no, the person told me I should do this, that. Catch it on tape. Use it as evidence in here. That's called coercion or intimidate too. Once again, that's not of their own free will. Then you bring up the code and or the statute and or the law of saying, look, to do this stuff, it must be of their own free will. Somebody can't encourage, somebody can't this, that. That's why even here in the United States, when pressing charges of sexual assault, this, that, they say, well, it doesn't because it doesn't get reported. Is not, hey, we encourage you to do this. We encourage you, hey, listen, it's still your choice on what you're going to do, but you can't have somebody. We need to, even an officer of the law, listen, you need to tell me the details of this crime or this and that. That's still your personal choice on whether or not you share that. And that goes onto what you feel is, within your rights. I have a right not to report. I have a right not to talk about it. But there's a crime that happened. I still have the right to remain silent, or did you forget that part?
So
I don't have to talk to you
about what Omni has done wrong, the lies and the coercion that Omni's doing, and why they have a $40,000 bonus if they prove us to be unfit parents.
Keep it about you, brother. but document all that and put it in the case file.
We made complaints on her, and because she was just failing to do her job. Some of the providers would message her and give her the certifications, and she would just not look at the certifications, so she could say, they say they've done it, but yet, so anyways, we made a complaint on her.
Darren.
2 weeks after we called Nashville,
That's why I told him to file him
another
himself.
lady under her to come to our house to deem it unfit. Well, I felt really weird the way the woman was being really rude to us, and so I was like, we need to record her. So we recorded her, and as she was about to leave our home, she was at the front door, and I'm like, do you have any concerns with our home? She said, with my own personal home? I said, no, ma'am. I said, with your professional opinion, whether our home is suitable for our children or not. And she's
whoa,
like,
whoa, stop.
Hold up, Michael, hold up.
She's trying to
Michael,
say our
hold
home's
up.
Hold on.
I was like, what do you
Did
mean?
they have a warrant to
Michael,
come into
hold
the home?
We fixed up this place. We
Hold on, buddy.
like, all the
Hold on.
outlets,
Hold on.
we fixed this place. She pointed at a
She's
vent
not
about
stopping,
6
buddy.
inches from the ceiling, a central heat and air vent, and said that it needed to be. And I'm like, how is that a danger for the children? And she was like, yeah, I know, meaning it wasn't a danger. But then she went back to her office and wrote a big long report claiming like we had a bug infestation, claiming that she felt like she was going to fall through the floor in different places.
Boom. Hold on.
Hold on, Michael. Hold on. Yep.
That report you can use against her that show that she was in your house without a warrant, bro.
Oh yeah, yep. There you go.
She went as far as to say that we used different types of tile in the kitchen because they're the
Michael,
same tile, but
Michael,
they're different colored.
Homeboy,
Homeboy,
she was in your house without a warrant.
I tried to get them to read out what she said, and at first she wouldn't. But then I had a third-party agency, the Tennessee Department of Youth, and he's
just on fire. He's got to get it off his chest, man.
Yeah, yes.
What was said about his home. And because before this case started, when I got out of jail, I was homeless. We were staying with my brother-in-law. And so we've acquired a home. We've lived here for the last 6 months, paid all the bills. We have running water, heat. Like, my wife got a job at Taco Bell, and in 6 months, she's went from manager to AGM.
Okay, where were they living before? There's the other thing. They got to live in the state for so many months and have residency to even have jurisdiction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where were you before that? Before you were jailed?
I was in Wayne County. Now I'm in Savannah, Tennessee. Hardin County, Tennessee is where we live now.
Okay, so then that should have been remanded back to Wayne County.
Yeah, were you just passing through when you got hemmed up in the situation?
Her brother, and we grew up in Wayne County, Tennessee. So her brother was living in Wayne County, Tennessee.
Doesn't matter where he was living. Where were you living?
When I got out of jail, me and my wife were homeless. We were staying in our car and searching for a place to live. All we had was my income, and eventually we found a place. And like when they told us that we needed a place, we found a place and we fixed it up. At first, it was bad. This place was bad, but my grandfather, Pastor Ray Sexton, we built Berea Missionary Baptist Church, turned a single wide 3-bedroom trailer into a five bedroom house. Simply built decks around the.
You've got a 1983 case all day long. Number one, they had no warrant to enter your home. They questioned you on private property. These are all Fourth Amendment violations, and then fruit from a poisonous tree applies.
On the wall painted. We did so much work to this place, and Hannah, before I made the complaint, even admitted, how good the place looked, and I tried to get her to read out her report to counteract the report that she had gotten.
Well, here's the thing. This is what we got to do, Michael. This is what we got to do. We need
classes. So that turned out to bite them in the butt because the home ec teachers come out here twice and says that she'll come speak the truth. She's a Christian lady, and she really loved us.
Right.
She
Well,
sees, that we're caring
get
parents
those
and we want our
people.
children back.
Get those
So she's
people.
wanting to testify for us as
Right.
well.
Get all those people to write statements, affidavits for you. Get all of those people to write character references for you. You've got
No, no, no,
9
no,
days.
no, 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 no. They need to be in court. No, 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 no,
Well,
no.
but let's put them that way. They have it for the record. If they don't let them sit, then if they have
Well, that's
affidavits, they
true.
can put them on the record. So get
That's
them to write
true.
these things. Get them that, and plus you're gonna, like Tiff says, summons the whole goddamn place. Everybody that you can summons them. Summons them all.
Yep.
Bring this kitchen
Everybody.
sink, man. You've
Right,
got
because like I said, one of the women, Letitia, that was completely against us today on the meeting. She had just the very last visit we had with just her. She allowed us at the Columbia Park to walk 300 yards away.
yeah,
And on the meeting, she admitted that she knew that we weren't going to do anything wrong.
right.
But yet, they still violated our.
But the bottom line is this: they suck. They lie. They're pieces of shit. They don't care. They want that $40,000. It's up to you now, dude. You have 9 days. You have 9 days to get your shit together, pull your stuff together, and ensure that you get the good opportunity to get your children back, because otherwise you're sitting duck. So that's what we got to do. You got to get
Yes, sir. I'm
like.
ready to put in the work.
All right. Well, let's do that. We'll be in touch with you. Like Tiff says, start putting that list together of the people that you need to summons, man. Let's get that summons down. Like, let's every person that you can freaking think of to get in there, throw the kitchen sink at them, and then we'll go from there. We'll be in touch with you to talk about, entertainment purpose things only. But for now, we're gonna wrap this baby up because we are way past, and I know Tiff's gonna be falling asleep here in a second. She's past her bedtime. But what do you got to say, Tiff? I see you over there aching to say something.
The only thing I have to say is subpoena everybody. They don't submit all your paperwork by yourself. And if they do not follow your due process and let you defend yourself, smile when you walk out of that courtroom and tell everybody, you'll see everybody in federal court. I'm telling you, tell them you will see them in federal court. Watch how their demeanor changes.
What about this not being a hearing? They just rescheduled the permanency plan review for the 10th. So like, even though we were there in court having
Make no mistake, dude, those
court
reviews are hearings, man.
They are hearings. They are hearings.
About making it a hearing.
Those are, dude, that's so you come in there unprepared and think that you're just going into something. A review is an actual judge sits there, the judge's ruling stands, the whole nine, man. It is a hearing. Believe in me, man.
It's a hearing. Subpoena everybody.
Yep. Guaranteed that. But Gunner, you got any last words for him, bud?
I guess
Maybe
not.
Ross Gunner now too. All right.
Please contact me.
Yeah. Hey, stay right there, buddy. All right, stay right there. Let me do the end of the show. Don't go nowhere, buddy.
I'll stay on too for a few minutes.
Okay. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for being here tonight, and we will see you all. Oh yeah, tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Special guest at 6 o'clock. Make sure you're here. Be here. Be square, because you're not gonna want to.
What
All
time?
right, everybody. Oh, we got tomorrow night.
I've never been a perfect person. I put the cart before the horse. A list of reasons, long as sermons, why I never needed God. Then I heard His voice, so sweet. It put me on my knees. I'm holding on to hope for dear life. With God driving, and I'm finally free at last.
We know it's all about the money, we know they lie, we know this is corruption. Does CPS know what they are doing to the children?